This message is huge. So, how it's coming through is we as a collective are facing a huge pivotal turn in history beyond anything we've ever experienced. It's so big. It's like our consciousness evolution. We are at this really critical point in evolving. It has everything to do with the age of Aquarius. It has everything to do with the mind space. We have been so emotional. Our hearts have been trampled on. What's going on here is we have been trying to figure out what's happening, what's going on, how to just have a simple life, like how to just get along and stop fighting, stop this race war, white against black, everything. We have been trying to figure this out. It's been such a battle, intellectually trying to understand what is going on. And we are at the precipice is the word. We are opening the door to infinite cosmic connection and download. Everything that we imagine, all the movies, every magical superpower film that has ever been released or expressed is igniting within us. Our insides are wanting to explode. Right here, our ability, our cosmic connection to all things, it's trying to be birthed. I feel like right here, it's like this is our infinite connection to power and all of our, everything we imagine, everything we want in life, whether it's a superpower or how we envision a happy life, what we see in movies when we're like, man, I wish that was real. Those kind of moments are birthing. The egg is about to hatch. That's what that's saying. We are entering a time where every cosmic thing we could ever imagine is coming to the surface. But what's blocking this is the divide, the division, the fighting, the separation. Instead of looking at people and recognizing you're not the enemy, I'm not your enemy, you're not my enemy. Instead of recognizing that, we are way too emotional right now. We aren't being logical. We're not using our heart space. This is coming to me as Earth speaking. Just gently. I mean, I'm a little erratic right now because the energy is freaking weird. But this is very calm. This is very peaceful. This is very mother, nurture. Like imagine a cosmic mother, an earth mother coming to us and watching us. She's watching us. That's what she's doing. There's a forest down here and she's looking at us and she's waiting. She's like, I had to go through all this pain. You've been, like, you know how little children when you have a child in your belly, they are parasites. That's what they do. They're eating you because they take all your nutrients and make sure they're 100% and you get what's left. That is how much power goes into growing a child. So here is the child, the birth, right? This is the child in the womb. And this is the mother, okay? And what I'm seeing is the mother's willing to sacrifice so much for her child. Biologically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, all of it. A mother will sacrifice everything for a child. And that's what's been happening. The mother here is cosmic and earth and bigger than we can imagine. But she's like looking at her child like, you know, I sacrificed everything for you. I've given you so much, so many tools. I provided you with fruits and vegetables and beautiful vegetation, beaches and the stars. Like, she's basically expressing how much beauty is on earth that we could be experiencing. But instead we're fighting and we're destroying her. Just like the child in the womb, it's taking every single thing it needs, not thinking about the mother, because that's not the job. The job of the child is to get what it needs from the mother. And the mother's job is to give the child what it needs before her needs. And that's what she's done. She's given us everything, and we trampled on her. Our mother, our cosmic, whatever that is really watching us and just waiting. She's so patient. And she's really just watching, like, when will you guys understand that I love you, and that I'm here, and that I'm open, and that I'm inspiring you. I'm giving you ideas. I'm here. I'm giving all. Like, she's really pouring out all her love to us. And we're fighting and bickering and destroying the earth. We're throwing our trash everywhere. We're harvesting the oil, killing all the animals because we're greedy and we're selfish and we're prideful and we're lusting after everything. We're so envious and jealous and all these feelings and emotions that are so detrimental to our well-being. And she's just asking us to recognize all the positive things. We're focusing on such negative, low vibrational things. She wants us to awaken and see there's so much more. There's so much more potential to the human experience. We are choosing to vibrate at such a low frequency. This is a collective message. This has nothing to do with separation. That goes for astrological. I have no desire to separate the zodiacs here because I love you all. I'm here for you all. We all have our uniqueness and our separate differences and things like that make us great. We want to experience individuality and express that. But it doesn't mean there's not a multitude of things that bring us together in unity and togetherness. That was really, really strong. I'm so sorry. Okay, so that's our conflict. That's what we're dealing with. That's our hurdle. That's our battle. Here is, what do we do about it? What do we do about it? What's our next step? How do we approach this? Here, this guy, we have two swords. So this is all logical. This is all mental. We need a practical, logical approach to our heart space. So the mind and the heart connect on this energetically. When both work together, we are freaking superhuman and we have all the things we need. But when we can't connect the two spaces, balanced, if we can't love unconditionally and think logically, we don't have balance. And right now, we are not loving unconditionally. We aren't loving the earth, ourselves, or our neighbor. We're not doing that. So our heart space is really, really unbalanced. And what I'm picking up on, they want us to understand our power and our strength lies in rational and logical thinking. Critically understanding how we're being divided and separated. Sure, it's inspiration from outside of us and it's happening through programming and all the illusions on the outside. But how are we projecting that from our own heart? Why don't we have a grasp over our own heart space? Why are we running into situations so emotionally? Why are we attacking people or not fighting from our heart? Because this is another thing, like, it's really, this is absolutely has to do with the race war, like separation. I'm biracial. I mean, I kind of can see both sides. You know what I'm saying? And that there's not even two sides. That's the most ridiculous thing of it. There's a whole bunch of races. There's a whole bunch of races. The whole world is covered in all types of culture. And it's like, instead of fighting this, why? Why are we fighting so much? Can we find a place where we can look at someone and see their heart? Instead of walking up and saying, what do you do for a living? Or judging someone based on the way they dress or how they talk or whatever. Can we look at someone's heart? Can we, maybe that person has been through something. We don't know what people are going through. And we surely have no place to judge one another, right? I feel like really strongly, this is about healing our trauma, our emotional baggage. Like, we are carrying around so much energetic nonsense. This is why we can't vibrate higher. Sure, individually here and there, we're ascending and transcending our spirits and connecting. But the reason the collective is having such an issue getting there, I really sense it's like hate and love, a fine line between love and hate, right? Because it's so simple and it's so easy to misjudge passion for rage, or rage for passion, or hate for love, because they're so close. It's like Mars energy, right? Mars is like war and fighting, but then Venus, it's like Venus and Mars. That's what I'm saying. So it's like trying to figure out our Venus and our Mars. Like, what are we fighting for? And what do we love? And why? And how do we bring beauty to the situation? It's really important to know why we're fighting. Does anyone know why we're fighting? It's not because we think this. We weren't birthed in this dimension just to fight and argue and compare our lives with each other. That's someone else's projection that we're allowing to fuel our reality. Here we have this lion, okay? The lion is a very powerful, regal creature with strength and dignity and pride. It's not irrational. It doesn't even fight usually. It only fights when, let's say, this male lion provoked by another male, when it has to defend its pride, right? It's female lions and cubs. And then the female lion is a very fierce creature. She knows how to work together with other female lions to protect their cubs and to hunt and to provide. They have such a great sense of working together. They get it. That's their structure. They're not confused, right? They're very harmonious and also the king and queen of their element. They're, right? They represent fire. There's a lot of fire here. There's fire and spirit and logic. They're not going to come off. Look at how he's sitting here. He's sitting on a rock just watching and observing. This is very much so like an emperor energy too, where it's like thinking critically and strategizing and planning. This is very mind. We're so divided and separated because we're not logically approaching what's happening to us. We are fighting based off emotion, like just like pure, it's just so, I don't like it. It's like just bursting out of us. And what I see is if we can slow down, sit on our rock, think about what is happening. How can we help? What ideas and strategies can I come up with here to make a better world and not necessarily continue this nonsense world? How can I exit myself out of the situation and use, so I'm seeing like cause and effect. Okay, that's what this is. I'm seeing this cause and effect. How can I affect the world better? How can I on an individual level, because we are individuals, how can I contribute to society and make it a better world? What can I do here? How can I unlock my gifts and my talents and my ideas? What ideas do I have that I'm not speaking on, that I'm just thinking about, that I'm allowing to just float around in my mind? What needs to be released and let out? That's very much so. We're walking this really, really tight rope. We need to educate ourselves and really have the knowledge to unlock our infinite within. There's so much within that's trying to birth and hatch and come forth, but there's a process to everything. We're not using our logic. We're just emotionally overwhelming ourselves. We have so much trauma and healing. We have so much healing to do. This is about relationships. This black and white thing here, it's like our relationships, all of them. This is not just, all of our relationships need to heal. This came out with the unicorn as well. Look at all this freaking rainbow energy. It's insane. We have so much fire energy and rainbow energy. So rainbow's like togetherness, cosmic magic. It's very much so, like you see all this rainbow-ish energy. It's like we got to really recognize that, yeah, all these differences come together to make a beautiful rainbow. If we sit here and stay divided, we can't make this beautiful, harmonious energy. This is about healing. This card, to me, it absolutely can be about a relationship. But if that's so superficial to me, when we take it to just ourselves and our one person, like take this to humanity, to the collective. This is trauma. This is healing. This is the sun coming up after a bunch of darkness. Many people have been living a lie, and these traumas are surfacing within us, regardless if we're ready to face them. We're being forced to face this. It's like here, the Mother Earth here, it's like she's looking at night, right? She's looking at this night sky. She's coming from the night sky, looking over her earth, really assessing. That's a lot of assessing energy. I feel like it's just like I'm trying to figure this out. And the solution is to heal the trauma within in order to bring it without. We can't heal society, bring about world peace, which I'm not going to go there. We can't bring about peace when we can't heal ourselves within, when we're blocking our heart space to connect to our mind. And vice versa, right? Reciprocate that. Go to reverse it. This spiral card is like we've been going round and round in circles over and over and over. It's time to open this portal. Like there is so much magic beyond. If we can heal, when we heal, because we will, it can take a year, 10 or 20 or 50 if we want it to. When we heal, when we allow the traumas to flow and to love each other, to stop fighting, to stop judging, to stop the jealousy, the pride, the envy, the lust, the materialism. When we can look at someone and recognize they're just as human as we are. And there's always someone in a worse situation than us. No matter what you're going through, there's always someone that has it worse. And they're making it. They have to. We have no choice. You know what I'm saying? pushing through this energy is such a hard thing to do. I've done a lot of shadow work. I'm still doing shadow work. And it's hard. That's what this card's about. It's about shadow work. This is about healing. Oh my gosh, the trauma of the earth and the world and the people and everything in it. Killing the animals. This is so much bigger than just two people holding each other's hands. This is the entire left side and right side of the argument or the fight or whatever coming together and then holding hands. This is the person that says, no more. I'm not going to, I'm seeing the image where, there's that image where there's that girl that there's a line of military or police, and then there's a line of like hippies, and then the girl puts the flower on the guy, walks right up to the gun and puts the flower on it. That's what this is. It's the peace. It's the love. It's both sides coming together and recognizing our magic. Look at this unicorn. This unicorn is tapping into the cosmos. You are this unicorn, okay? And it's tapping into the cosmos and recognizing that you're not a horse. You're not a domesticated animal that has to stay within a fence and suffer and be fed this just makes me think of how I'm seeing domesticated horses, okay? Walking around. There's these horses down the street. They walk around and around and stuck in this cage, and they just want to be free. They know there's more, but they don't know what, I'm sorry, this is very powerful energy. I'm freaking out here. Okay, so we're the unicorn though. Instead of the domesticated horse, we're not only wild and free, we're not only trying to burst out of our cage, we're also a unicorn. We also have this divine connection to infinite space and time where we have magic. We are magic. We are so much more capable. We are so much more capable than the state we're in right now. We have to find some logic here and rationalize this for ourselves and understand. We could be doing so much more with the earth. We could be doing so much more with our lives, with creating jobs and careers and things that we're passionate about, that we can wake up in the morning and love doing. We don't have to do things that make us hate life, or you know what I'm saying? We're waking up in these jobs we hate and these energies. We don't have time, so we're rushing through these drive-thrus that feed us junk, and we just want to be free. We don't want to be trapped. We want to be free, and we have to free our minds. That's what this is. Bob Marley said, in order, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. We have to free our minds. We are in mental slavery here, guys. We can't be fighting over race. We can't be fighting over anything if we want to heal. And that's what this is all about. We have to heal. The hummingbird. So this is what's working for us. I always struggle with this hummingbird card. And I think it's because I don't know how to slow down. So the hummingbird, to me, because it has a whole different meaning to everyone else, I feel like. But for me, the hummingbird is all about magic. I always imagine Thumbelina, little fairies, riding, oh my gosh, and the horse analogy. I always imagine these are the horses for fairies because they're so magical. I rarely get to see a hummingbird, but when I do, it is a magical experience. They're so interesting. They come real quick and then they're gone. And their wings, I associate them with my grandma. And my grandma's has dementia, and it's a whole other thing, which I'm going to make a great video about that on my other channel soon. But hummingbirds to me are magic. They're absolute. I believe they can float between dimensions. I don't believe they're just here in 3D. I think they vibrate in higher frequencies. And I think the reason we don't see them that often is they don't want nothing to do with our low ass, dense ass, ugly ass energy. They want to be in a frequency where they can flutter and fly and free. Like they're just playing and dancing in the wind. Like they're not worried about us boring folks down here. So that's what I see the hummingbird as, is this magical creature that sometimes comes near us, because it's like, I don't want to with y'all, like y'all are crazy. I want to go where there's fairies and, you know, things that are more gentle and kind to the earth. They're hiding somewhere, you know what I'm saying? Like it's interdimensional. It's hard to explain, but that's how I see them. Most people perceive that as like a journey. So, because hummingbirds do, they journey, and there it is. There's the journey. I just made that connection for myself. But to me, the journey is interdimensional. Sure, they do travel like long distances for nectar, for the sweet things in life. So maybe that's where my disconnection is. I'm imagining them traveling interdimensionally. I don't really, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to read a passage here for this camel spirit that came through. The camel is such an ugly little creature, isn't it? Not in a mean way, just it's ugly. It's not necessarily cute. It's cute in its own ugly way. So let's see what the camel wants to say. Resourceful, independent, and knows oneself. The camel can handle absolutely anything, as it carries a wealth of nourishment within. This wondrous creature is self-reliant and handles challenges with ease, even in the face of excess heat, judgment, or anger. For real. I haven't read this one yet. The camel searches inside for the cool elixir of water to calm the situation. I'm sorry, I'm going to try to calm down. The camel represents the ultimate form of bringing opposite into balance, fire and water, and being responsible for one's own reactions. The camel is a wonderful traveler and is especially fond of trips to faraway lands. I'm freaking out. Do you see what I'm saying? I've never read this passage yet. And I knew, like my spirit said, read that one directly after. I knew it. That's it. Do you see what I'm saying? It's about traveling, going on a journey. It's about fire and water, because that was the emotion here with the trauma and the healing and the heart space, right? The heart space, but then I felt the Mars and the Venus. That's love and passion. That's what this is, okay? So love each other. We have to come together. We have to realize our differences. I'm half black and white, and you know what? For me, my experiences have taught me that both sides don't want to fight with each other. So on that level, like nobody wants to really fight. We all want the same thing. Like, can we come together? I hear a song, but I don't know what it is. Oh, come together right now. What's that? Over me. Doom, doom, doom. That's the song. So whatever that song is, that's what we need to do. Come together in harmony and balance, okay? 3 little birds. Sorry, I was a little crazy, but that's it. Thank you so much for watching. If you could like, comment, and subscribe, that'd be so fantastic. And subscribe to my other channel where I talk all about spirituality and my interpretation of things. So that's all I have. Thank you. I really appreciate it. And bye.